morning. I think that's as good as it's going to get first thing in the morning. All right. Today is July 31st. Last day of the month. Last day of Esther. But let's begin with a daily reflection on the Old Testament. I have chosen the way of truth. I have stuck unto thy testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 30 and 31. Parents have a sacred responsibility to rear their children in love and righteousness, to exemplify by precept and by example the transforming principles of the restored gospel. Yet we are free to choose how we will respond to the message of salvation. President Gordon B. Hinckley said, "I believe this to be the most marvelous age in all the history of the world, when there is such a great flowering of knowledge. What a tragedy it is, what a bleak and terrible thing to witness a son or daughter on whom you counted so much walk the tortuous path that leads down to hell. On the other hand, what a glorious and beautiful thing it is to see the child of your dreams walk with head up, standing tall, unafraid, and with confidence, taking advantage of the tremendous opportunities that open around him or her. May we choose the way of testimony and truth." Okay, so today is Esther's chapter 9 and 10. And in this, it says that on the day that was assigned to their destruction, they were allowed to rise up and kill their enemies, and they did. And then they also started the Feast of Purim. And then in 10 it says that Mordecai was second to the king. So it went the king, then it went Mordecai. So people were afraid of Mordecai because he was so powerful. So that's what happens in 9 and 10. Nothing in the side-by-side, but Ludlow has a few things to say about 9. Chapter 10 is just like 3 verses. So let's see. Ellis Rasmussen has provided a brief commentary on the battle that ensued between the Jews and their enemies. It should be noted that the carnage that ensued was not, as some commentators have said, a show of bloodthirsty vengeance by the Jews. Under the circumstances, it was the result of an inevitable conflict, as there were naturally some who were sympathetic with Haman and the antagonistic to the Jews, who would follow the first edict. On the other hand, those among the officers, deputies, rulers, etc., who knew of the vindicating order and of the trend to favor the Jews, opportunely would fight in their behalf. And then it says, the same Hebrew word translated spoil in verse 10 is translated prey in verse 16. And then the festival of Purim is still observed annually by Jews throughout the world on the 14th and the 15th day of the month Adar. I don't know which month is Adar. But anyways, that's what we got. That's all I got. All right, and now I will leave you with a prayer from a diary of prayer. And there's 2, one by Jeremy Taylor, and then Greek Vespers. Okay. O eternal Son of God, who camest from the Father, the fountain of light, to enlighten the darkness of the world, Shine thou upon us this day, that in whatsoever we shall do or suffer, we may be acceptable. Excuse me. To thy divine majesty, for thy name's sake. Goodness gracious. And then this is Greek Vespers adapted. O God, great and wonderful, who hast given us a pledge of thy promised kingdom through the good things already bestowed upon us, help us to shun all evil throughout this day, that at its end we may stand without reproach before thy holy glory, and praise thee, the God of our life, the lover of men, through Jesus Christ our Lord. That sounds very similar to one we had earlier, but I still like it. Those were some good ones. All right, that was Esther 9 and 10, and next week we get into Job, and it looks like we skip around a lot, but we do have a lot to read. Tomorrow is 1 and 2. Then the next day we skip and read 3 and 12. And then we skip again and read 14 and 19. Then we read 21 and 22. And then 23 and 24. And then 38 and 39. And 40 and 42. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Have a wonderful Sunday. I will see you later.